This Flock CEO just looked into a camera and called a group of people mapping Flock cameras as terrorist organizations whose primary motivation is chaos, and claimed that they were closer to Antifa than anything else.
Organizations like the ACLU and the EFF who take an above-board approach to fight for their point of view. And thankfully, we live in a beautifully democratic, capitalistic country where we can fight in court. And I have a lot of respect for those groups because they have reasonable debates and we follow the law. And then unfortunately, there's terroristic organizations like DeFlock, whose primary motivation is chaos. They are closer to Antifa than they are anything else. And that, I think, is unfortunate because we don't want chaos, or I don't want chaos. I like law and order. I like a society that has a bedrock of safety. So for those groups, I think it's just disappointing that they haven't chosen a more constructive mannerism to try to get what they want, which they have a right to have, but that's why we have a democratically elected process, right? Like we're not forcing Flock on anyone. Elected officials know that as a community, you want to be safe.
Let that sink in. A guy whose company literally is blanketing the United States with illegal surveillance that is abused on a daily, probably minute-by-minute basis, and he's blaming somebody else for being the bad guys. So we're comparing the crimes of Antifa with the zero crimes of DeFlock. Literally zero crimes from an organization like DeFlock. And look, the documented stats on how law enforcement and officials have already misused Flock's system, this is the kind of propaganda that should piss you off if you care even a little bit about liberty. So you guys know all about Flock, right? It's like the flavor of the month right now. Everybody's talking about it, but rightfully so. I'm certainly not talking down on anyone who's pointing this out. It's nice to see two sides, and I do believe there's two sides coming together on this to look at and over, let's just call it surveillance of the American citizen. And it's kind of a quasi Fourth Amendment issue. I understand that you have no reasonable expectation of privacy when you are out in public. But when you put something out in public that you don't have any controls over, there's no audit system whatsoever, and it's routinely abused by the people who claim they're using it for tools to help people, but they're using it for their own criminal things. I'm talking about law enforcement. There's no safeguards in place. That's like me. What if Henry Ford had created a car right off the bat, the gas combustion engine, and the car would go 100 miles an hour? But there's no braking system, no way to stop it. It's awesome that you can get from point A to point B. Yay, we're saving time. Now, we're killing a whole bunch of people along the way because we're just running them over because there's no way to stop. In fact, we're using the people in some cases to drive over them because that's how we stop the car. It's either that or run into a tree or a building. If you don't have any safeguards in place, it doesn't matter how wonderful your little invention is. Your invention is not helping the general public. Yeah, what, you actually collect a couple of stolen cars? Yippee. Let me tell you something. The count of this, and Flock's whole story is they developed this system and they pitched it and sold it to communities as a system that can help you recover stolen vehicles and, well, this is the real kicker, right? This is the one that really gets everyone's attention. Recover trafficked children. First of all, nobody's really trying to recover trafficked children. It's weird how that's not a higher priority than what it is, but they're using as a bullet point and a buzzword to pitch this Flock stuff. The millions of cases of misuse of Flock versus a couple of dozen cars that they claim that they've recovered and children. More on that in a second because I've got a lot more to say about that. I want to talk a real quick second about DeFlock because all DeFlock is an open source project that simply maps where Flock cameras are so regular people know that they're being tracked 24/7 on these public roads. It's a website. It's a mapping website. Completely transparent. Like literally completely transparent. Unlike Flock, who is not transparent and does not offer up an easily accessible auditing system. Now that we know about DeFlock, let's talk about Antifa, because DeFlock's supposed to be worse than Antifa, according to this snake. Antifa has a record in Portland alone of over 100 consecutive nights of riots in 2020, attacks on police with commercial fireworks, lasers, rocks, bricks, Molotov cocktails, power tools, federal courthouse under siege, dozens of officers injured night after night. Again, 100 consecutive nights. August 29, 2020, self-described Antifa militant Michael shot and killed Aaron J. Danielson, a Patriot Prayer supporter, during a riot in Portland. Rennehoff was later killed by law enforcement while resisting arrest. Broader 2020 unrest tied to these protests and riots. At least 25 to 30 deaths associated, billions in insured property damage, Antifa-linked violence, including doxing of officers and journalists, arson, smashing windows, targeted attacks on conservatives and media. Ongoing into 2025 and 2026 in Portland, Rose City Antifa and affiliates involved in assaults on officers, doxing ICE agents by posting names and addresses, using stop signs as battering rams on federal buildings, and declaring riots. Not mostly peaceful like DeFlock is 100% peaceful. This snake is comparing the two of them. This snake is obviously getting blowback for his illegal surveillance system, and now he's pissed because his little invention, this dude is a graduate of Georgia Tech from the Georgia area. Flock is from the Atlanta area. So this boy's over here comparing Antifa with DeFlock. DeFlock's worse, according to him. But Antifa, we've seen their pattern of political violence, their intimidation, their destruction from the decentralized Antifa movement. They have a body count and a rap sheet of real, actual, documented crimes. DeFlock, nothing. Zero crimes. No violence, no riots, no murders, no assaults on police, no arson, no doxing campaigns, no federal indictments for attacking courthouses. DeFlock's only crime in the eyes of Flock CEO is building a public map of surveillance cameras and encouraging people to fight mass surveillance through legal and peaceful means. And they do stress that. They got a cease and desist letter from Flock trying to shut down their project over the name DeFlock. That's it. Civil legal pressure, not criminal activity. One side has a documented history of violence and chaos, while the other has a frickin' website. Calling DeFlock terrorists or closer to Antifa ain't analysis. It's simply bullcrap propaganda to protect a business model. But here's where it gets really good. We've already talked about Antifa, and Antifa's no surprise. We all know they're dirtbags and scumbags, right? I mean, even the dirtbags and scumbags on the left know that. Let's talk about the cops, the ones who are really misusing this Flock system. And the Flock CEO seems perfectly fine with it. From reports compiled by the Institute for Justice and multiple news investigations, at least 21 documented cases nationwide of officers using license plate readers like Flock to stalk romantic interests or exes. The bulk of these have happened since 2024. All of these cases you're looking at, that ain't a few bad apples twisting policy, folks. That is technology making it easy for people in power to abuse it for personal vendettas and interests. Other investigations found more systemic issues. In San Jose alone, nearly 4 million warrantless searches of the license plate reader database in 1 year. 4 million in 1 year in one area, San Jose. And because of privacy concerns, data sharing with feds, and all of these abuses, at least 82 Flock contracts have been terminated across 28 states since 2021. DeFlock tracks dozens of cities that have rejected or deactivated the cameras. Again, guys, there's no warrant required whenever these cops do this. They don't have to tell you that they're looking at you, they're looking for you. They don't have to say why they're logging into the system, why they're tracking you, why they're tracking their ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, or future girlfriend. Yeah, that's happened too. There's a cop who has been tracking movements, at least one that we know of some chick he wanted to get to know. So this dirtbag was learning what her habits were, the places that she frequented, so that he could just happen along and find her. Like just, we ran into each other again. What a coincidence. It must be fate. No, it must be Flock. Look, this homo CEO is not defending law and order. He's defending a surveillance product by smearing the people exposing the risks of this product. He calls privacy advocates terrorists, while his cameras have literally been weaponized by the people that they license them to. That's the real gaslighting here. Folks, DeFlock ain't the enemy here. Just because this clown says it, again, all that tells me is he's finally receiving blowback. And it's not just people cutting his stuff down. Now he's worried that this is going to draw in a bad crowd. It's going to give them a black eye. People are going to stop using them. In fact, what's likely to happen, because it's still going to happen, I mean, law enforcement is still going to want to abuse this system. They're going to start looking for a system that does the exact same thing, reading license plates. But guess what? It's not called Flock anymore. I'm going to give you my prediction. And I've got a lot to say about this regarding an audit system. I put a video out last week, I believe it was, that we need an audit system. And I'm working on an app right now that will provide a one-button push of an audit system of a camera and go to the authorities that it needs to. But regarding this Flock system, this is my prediction. I think this CEO or his board will convince him to do this. They're going to change the name of Flock. Because at this point, there's nothing pretty. You can wrap the biggest bow and put the most lipstick on Flock you want to. It's still a frickin' pig, and it's still lipstick on that pig. You will never change the perception of Flock cameras at this point. Flock, within the year, will change their name. It will not be called Flock anymore. It will be called something really flowery. You know how Congress likes to wrap these nasty little evil bills of theirs in little flowery wording? That's what Flock's going to do. And you know the best way to get somebody to say you can't talk bad about that is to wrap it in the phrase of public safety. So look for Flock to change their name within the year. I'm predicting this, and I have no reason to think that. Nobody's told me anything. Just telling you right now, I know how systems work, and I see this change coming. They are going to change their name from Flock, completely change the name and the LLC and everything. They're going to change it to something like the People's Public Safety for Children Surveillance System. That way, if you speak out against it, now you sound like the terrorist. Now you sound like the pedo. Now you sound like the person out there who wants all these bad things to happen because, I mean, you're not supporting the safety, public safety system to save the children, which used to be Flock. Watch and see if that doesn't happen within the next year. It'll be something like that. Flock, no doubt, will change their name. They can't undo what's already been done with that name. Friends, if you like the video, please hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Are you seeing these Flock cameras pop up in your area? I've already seen a couple of them, probably within 100 yards of my house. Let me know in the comments down below. Please make sure you are subscribed to Legally Armed America. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
It's hanging around.